My wife and I was zeicher to spend 11 summers as neighbors of the Rosh Yeshiva in Yebad L'Chaim, the Heilige Rebbetzin, and zeicher to have Suda Shabbos with them. Rosh Yeshiva was unique in that he was so brilliant and he had tremendous humility. He was a role model. It's hard for someone to emulate his brilliance, but his humility. He was very unique in that he was a genius-level person, and he had a Havana of the simplest, a keen Havana of the simplest person, a yeshiva bacher, of his needs, of his feelings. It's very rare that the two go together. He had a down-to-earth attitude towards life. I could see him telling me, "You're getting up to speak, just get to the point, say what you want, and sit down." So I want to tell you a maisa he told me. So when he was in Lakewood by Reb Aaron was in yeshiva for the most part, Erev Shabbos, and sometimes Sunday. And the whole week he was traveling for Klal Yisroel. He wasn't in Lakewood. And he would travel back on Thursday, sometimes on Friday, with the short line bus from Brooklyn to Lakewood. So when Erev Shabbos he was on the bus, he traveled himself. He sat down next to another Yid that lived in Lakewood. And he spoke to him. And this was a survivor, it's a bracha and a survivor of the war. And he asked him, "Are you Shem Shabbos?" He said, "No." He said, "Are you Tachin? You went through the Holocaust, you made it out, you're not Shem Shabbos?" He said, "Rebbe, I have no parnasa. I make my money doing odds and ends jobs, and I need a parnasa on Shabbos." So the Shiva Reb Aaron said to him, "If I'll find you a parnasa, you'll be Shem Shabbos?" He said, "Yeah." He said, "Fine, you'll come to the yeshiva. What could you do?" The man was a little stuck for what he could do. He said, "In Europe, I used to give haircuts." He said, "Okay, you'll come to the yeshiva, the Baruchim will take haircuts by you, and you'll be Shem Shabbos," and they made a deal. So yeshiva came back to Lakewood, and he told the Baruchim, from now on, you have to go to Mr. Megler. He told me, I believe was the name. You have to go to Mr. Megler for haircuts. Rashida told me they used to go to his house. He had a 2-room apartment. His bedroom with 2 beds. He put a chair between the 2 beds, and he gave haircuts. So I asked him, how were the haircuts? So Shiva told me in his jovial mood, awful. Absolutely awful. I said, all the Bachrim went? He said, there was one Bacher who was dating, and he was bald in the middle, and a barber would cover it up, and Megla made him look terrible. All the other Bachrim went. Why did he tell me this story? He told me, that's a Talmud from Rav Aaron. All the Talmidim but one. The Rosh Yeshiva said, go get haircuts by Mr. Megler, and they all went to Mr. Megler. Today, the boys would just give Megler the money and go somewhere else and take the haircuts. Yisoid Adover is something that the Yeshiva held by in a starke oifen. The idea of being a Talmud to a Rebbe. If there is chasna, being a Talmud to the whole Mahalach HaNevardik, the whole Mahalach HaChaim, maybe before the chasna too, but certainly afterwards. To be a Talmud, to feel a Talmud, an adikus, a feeling of a Talmud. In those 11 summers, 2 of the summers were summers that Yeshiva was very torrid, raising money for this building, for the binyan. And he told me it took away a piece of his gesund. Not just the running around, but the effect it had on his ability to learn, his asmada. His nechama was in the Talmidim of the yeshiva. So many who remained so aduk to him, ad hayayim. Talmidim will call to ask me if they should rise kriya today. Talmidim that are adukim. There's one message that I learned from the Rosh Hashiva, the Yisroel of being a Talmud, Yisroel of being aduk, of being loyal to a Rebbe, of being faithful to a Rebbe without shverikkeit, because that's the way you didn't do things. That's the way a Ben Torah grows up, is an adikus to a Rebbe. This was the story of Mr. Megler that the Rosh Hashiva told me probably 20 years ago. And that idea, that Nakuda, is a Nakuda that he lived with. Nakuda that was his tremendous nachas from the yeshiva where the Bachrim are adukim, the Bachrim are connected to the Rebbeim, to the Rosh Yeshiva. It was the theme of his life, and if we come today to mark an incredible life and a connection to Chaim Berlin where he started, to Rosh Yeshiva Baron when he was in Lakewood, being from the first Talmidim in Philadelphia, a long life of Rav Talmud, straight to the point. That's certainly one of the lessons that if you would have wanted to have shared here today. There's tremendous nachas, and those of you who are his Talmidim, those of you who continue to be his Talmidim, those of us who, maybe I wasn't in shir by him, but learned so much from his mahalach, his way with people, his mahalach hachayim. There aren't too many like Rav Yechiel. Just don't make them anymore that way. Rav Yechiel, Lech B'Shalom. Lech B'Shalom. You're going to be missed wherever you are, wherever you are connected, will be missed. But your dogma, the image, the gesundte enthusiasm you had for, even when he felt not well, as soon as he started talking and anything had to do with learning with yeshiva, you became vibrant and alive. That image stays with us. Yehi Zichron Baruch.